Hashtag the bold and the beautiful. Steffi's Monaco breakdown sets the stage for a shocking Carter connection. The August 14th, 2026 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful delivers one of those emotional turning points that could completely reshape several relationships at Forrester Creations. What begins as another chapter in the seemingly endless Sheila Carter nightmare quickly becomes something much more complicated. Steffy Forrester is pushed beyond her emotional limits when she discovers that Finn has once again crossed paths with Sheila. At almost the exact same time, Carter Walton watches his hopes for a future with Daphne collapse before his eyes. By the end of the episode, two wounded people who would normally have little reason to lean on each other find themselves together in the same place, drowning their pain in alcohol and sharing the kind of emotional vulnerability that can easily become dangerous. The most important thing about this episode is that neither Steffy nor Carter is simply looking for romance. Both are trying to escape heartbreak. Both are angry. Both feel betrayed by circumstances they cannot control. And both are emotionally compromised. That makes their encounter at Forrester Creations far more significant than a simple rebound story. Steffy's entire emotional world has been shaken by Sheila once again. For years, Sheila has represented fear, danger, instability, and the possibility that Steffy's family could be destroyed. Finn's complicated relationship with his biological mother has always made that fear even more difficult for Steffy to manage. Even when Finn insists that Sheila has changed, Steffy cannot simply erase everything that happened before. To her, Sheila is not merely a difficult relative. Sheila is a living reminder of trauma that never completely disappeared. That is why the revelation that Sheila was on the same flight as Finn hits Steffy so hard. From Steffy's perspective, this is not about one isolated encounter. It is about repetition. It is about Finn once again finding himself close to Sheila. And it raises the terrifying possibility that Sheila will continue to have access to their lives. Steffy has spent so much time trying to protect herself, Finn, and their children from that threat that discovering Finn has once again crossed paths with Sheila feels like another violation of the fragile sense of security she was trying to rebuild. The Monaco setting makes the situation even more dramatic. Monaco was supposed to be a place where Steffy could breathe, escape the chaos of Los Angeles, and perhaps reconnect with the people around her. Instead, it becomes the location of another emotional collapse. When Steffy disappears, Ridge and Brooke immediately panic. Their reaction is important because it shows how serious the situation has become. Steffy is not simply angry and walking away from an argument. She is overwhelmed enough to vanish, leaving the people closest to her desperately trying to figure out where she went. Ridge's concern is naturally mixed with anger because he understands exactly how much Sheila has affected his daughter. When Finn finally arrives and admits that Sheila was on the same flight as him, Ridge's frustration explodes. Ridge has never been particularly good at hiding his emotions when his family is threatened. To him, Finn's connection to Sheila has always been a potential disaster waiting to happen. Even if Finn believes he can control the situation, Ridge sees the danger differently. He sees a man who is repeatedly allowing Sheila back into the orbit of his family. That difference in perspective is at the heart of the conflict. Finn may believe that his relationship with Sheila has evolved. He may genuinely believe that she is capable of changing. He may also feel that he has a responsibility to understand his birth mother rather than simply reject her. But Steffy and Ridge do not have the luxury of viewing Sheila from that emotional distance. Their memories are different. Their wounds are different. Their fears are different. And Steffy's reaction proves just how deep those wounds remain. Instead of confronting Finn and staying in Monaco, Steffy chooses to leave. But this is not a calm decision. She boards a flight back to Los Angeles while emotionally shattered, and she begins drinking heavily during the journey. The alcohol is not presented as a solution. It is a symptom of how badly she is struggling. Steffy has reached the point where she no longer wants to feel what she is feeling. She wants the fear to disappear. She wants the anger to disappear. She wants the image of Sheila following her family to disappear. But alcohol cannot erase trauma. It only temporarily lowers the walls that normally keep those emotions contained. By the time Steffy arrives in Los Angeles, she is not the confident, controlled woman viewers usually see. She is vulnerable, exhausted, angry, and intoxicated. Most importantly, she is not ready to go home and face the people waiting for her. That decision becomes crucial. Instead of returning to her house, Steffy goes to Forrester Creations. And that is where the episode takes an unexpected turn. At Forrester Creations, another person is experiencing an emotional collapse of his own. Carter Walton has just suffered a devastating blow from Daphne. Daphne's decision to return to Paris completely destroys Carter's hopes for the future he imagined with her. The wedding ring she leaves behind becomes a powerful symbol of everything that has fallen apart. Carter was not simply hoping for another romance. He was hoping for a family, stability, and a future that would finally feel secure. Instead, he is left alone with the ruins of those dreams. This is where the episode cleverly connects Carter's story with Steffy's. On the surface, their heartbreaks are completely different. Steffy is devastated because Finn's connection to Sheila has reopened old wounds and destroyed her sense of security. Carter is devastated because Daphne has chosen to leave Los Angeles and return to Paris, ending the future he believed they could build together. But emotionally, they are in remarkably similar places. Both feel abandoned. Both feel that the future they were counting on has suddenly disappeared. Both are angry at people they love. Both are trying to understand how everything changed so quickly. And both turn to alcohol. Carter's drinking is especially revealing because it demonstrates how deeply Daphne's departure has affected him. Carter has experienced complicated relationships before, but this situation touches a different part of him. He wanted something lasting. He wanted to believe that the romantic chaos surrounding so many Forrester relationships was finally behind him. Instead, Daphne leaves. The ring becomes more than jewelry. It represents a promise that will never be fulfilled. Carter is left asking the question that so many characters on this show eventually face. Why does happiness always seem to disappear just when it feels within reach? That question becomes even more powerful when Steffy walks into Forrester Creations. Neither of them planned this meeting. Neither of them is looking for the other. And neither of them is emotionally prepared for what happens next. Steffy encounters Carter at one of the lowest moments of his life. Carter encounters Steffy at one of the lowest moments of hers. Under normal circumstances, these two might have maintained boundaries. They are colleagues. They have complicated histories with the same extended Forrester circle.